Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your August 2025 reading. We're going to get started by getting the overall energy you're going to be working with for the month of August. Spirit, what do you have for Libra? Okay. We're starting with King of Swords. King of Swords embodies Libra qualities, okay? So truth, justice, and balance is what your August brings. And I'm drawn to the butterfly in this image this time, something to do with transformation. Something about a truth has a very transformative effect for you in August. And I also got the Six of Cups, something about good memories or walking down memory lane. And it seems to be very helpful in your transformation as well. And then there's this side note of creating beautiful memories in the summertime with those that you love is what is coming through. Okay, but let's solidify these two cards. What does it look like? Let's see here. The Fool in reverse. Feels like there's been a lot of going inward in the last few months. And with the Fool in reverse, you've attained a lot of either information or wisdom to come to terms or conclude something in your mind that has brought you a sense of clear vision of how you want to move forward in August, okay? And something to do with memories, okay? You've solidified something to do with memories, and like with the Fool, it's just I go with the flow of whatever comes my way kind of energy, right? But in reverse, it's being prepared, it's being a little bit more using careful planning and sometimes looking at the past and using that to help create the future you want, okay? And that's what it seems to feel like. It feels like you're changing up the way you go about your life through some sort of transformation with the King of Swords. And how you want to build new memories based on what you've learned from the past, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's get you some blessings. There's a truth about memories is what I'm getting, okay? Okay, so we got the Two of Wands in reverse. You're quite aware that you're at a standstill with where do you want to go next, okay? It feels like there's one way, one option of how you want to live your life. Like I said, this transformation is ushered in kind of a more careful approach to life. I don't know if you've been reckless or careless with how you were going about your life in the past, maybe living off the seat of your pants, but it feels like there's a more serious approach in August. Okay. And you got the Lover's card in reverse. Something's blocked there. Let me just take a look here. Okay. Okay, so King of Cups, Cancer energy. Something about the Lovers needs to be nurtured. King of Cups, yeah, reminds me of Cancer and how they run their life, or what they embody is being of service to others. They have a very nurturing quality, very caring, very emotional nature, very sensitive nature, intuitive. For some of you, I feel like this is talking about a relationship. There's some truth about good memories that perhaps maybe have been lacking. You've been very busy or reckless with your time in the past few months, and you're taking a more serious approach to maybe your relationships, okay? That's why this Two of Wands is at a standstill. You're like, where do I go from here? I need to stop and reevaluate connections to those around me. And that makes sense for Libra. You are the most social sign of the zodiac. You do best in social settings or networking. Having healthy bonds is what makes you feel whole, okay, Libra? And with this Lovers in reverse, perhaps there's an emptiness growing here. And the King of Cups is calling your attention to nurture something about the Lovers, okay? It could be friendships, it could be lovers. You take what you will, take a look at your life and be like, where do I need to work on connections around me, okay? Because there's something here being reminded about memories that you're like, I missed that. That's what I'm getting so far, okay? You see the truth, you see the imbalance, and you're wanting to make it right. That's why I said there's some sort of transformative energy. There's something has been brought to the light, or you have changed, and maybe different things are more important to you than what it was before. You know, chasing the almighty dollar or chasing things that are unhealthy for our well-being. And now you've had a moment of, wait a minute, this is what actually fulfills my soul. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. But let's get you some challenges for August. Oh, okay. We got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Every time I've seen this, especially for August, a lot of signs are getting similar energy here. It feels like the challenge here is not to get disillusioned in your mind about what's important to you. Because Libra, you are somewhat of a people pleaser. You guys are the sign of harmony and balance and love and beauty, ruled by Venus. And sometimes, because this is coming up upright, because that's what you crave mostly, you're willing to put your needs on the back burner to make sure others are happy around you. So you become disillusioned with what the goal is, what you do recognize that you need, okay? And what you think others might need around you. Just try to find that balance between the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups, okay? Again, you don't want to get disillusioned because you're like, well, this person needs this more than me. There has to be a happy balance. All right, Libra, is all I can see so far, but we'll see what Spirit's advice is. What's your advice, Spirit, with this Knight of Cups? Oh, I've got lots here. Okay. Okay, so we got Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and the Magician in reverse. Okay, with the Queen of Pentacles, the advice here is, with the Queen of Pentacles, what she's calling to you to pay attention to is what makes your surroundings pleasurable. Again, there's something where you're trying to create a balance within your heart, okay? The King of Cups is, he's speaking to you through this shell here. He's calling your attention to something that needs to be nurtured. But also the Queen of Pentacles is the planet of love and beauty as well, ruled by Venus, which again is that nurturing energy coming in. So there's a real need to nurture your surroundings and things that make you happy and fulfilled, and it circles around good memories. What are things from your past that fulfill your soul, that you remember, that you can apply into your life, as again you've been through some sort of transformation here. You might have kind of lost your way a little or took a detour on what's important in the last few months, because you know life gets busy, life gets chaotic and hectic at times, and we lose sight of why we're fighting the good fight, you know? So again, what brings you pleasure around you? Harmony, love, and beauty, okay? And then also with the challenge is accepting some sort of loss, okay? Letting yourself feel something that perhaps you need to give a little to get a little, all right? Especially with this King of Swords, seeing it so clearly. You're like, well, okay, I need to create balance, so maybe I have to give something up to get something. Okay, and you'll be great at that, Libra. You are the scales. You do find a way to make things harmonious and balanced around you. All right, and then lastly, we got the Magician. But, okay, so the challenge here, or the advice, is not to give up too much of your personal power, okay? Again, there's that reoccurring theme of finding that balance. Giving a little, taking a little, finding what makes you feel whole and comfortable in your space, okay, and with the people around you, so that you can have this this Lover's card upright again. All right. Okay, so let's get you an old saying, Libra. It feels like it's just a need for, you see a problem and you want to find balance once again. It's not too heavy for August. It's very straightforward, this reading. Just some minor tweakments, you know? It's a good old saying for Libra. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Okay, so I guess there's a friendly reminder here that perhaps others, you may suggest certain things about good memories. You may suggest things about what you see that needs some readjusting to others, and it might be proved to be more difficult than you imagined. So that's why it's important to give a little and take a little. All right, so others can easily drink that water, okay? Because you might see it as a problem with this King of Swords, that there's an imbalance between connections, but others might be like, I don't see that. So to get what you want, again, there has to be that finding common ground, all right, to reestablish these healthy connections. But again, not too much. Again, don't be a people pleaser. Try to not give too much of your personal power, because you're important too, okay? The Queen of Pentacles knows her worth, her value, and her need to feel loved and comforted the way you give so easily, Libra. All right. Let's get one more card for this old saying. Nope, I've got too many. Wait. Too many. Just one card, Spirit. Okay. Got two. Okay, Ten of Pentacles in reverse. An imbalance within the old traditions or the old family ways, okay? You want to connect with whoever you deem family again with good memories, right? It feels like it's circling around family or, again, people that you connect with on a very personal level, and it's in reverse. So it's a bit of a challenge to get people to see your way, but we discussed giving a little, taking a little, all right? And then you also got the Page of Wands in reverse. It might take some time to get other people on board with this. I feel like you're going to get a little bit of resistance because the Page of Wands is in reverse. Okay, so this new idea of how you want to go about creating better bonds with those around you, spending more time with them. I don't know, maybe you have people that are very busy, or you have teenagers that are like, I want to do my own thing. Who knows? But there seems to be a little bit of resistance. And again, I'll just reiterate, I think the best way to go about it, and what Spirit's painting this picture here of, is giving a little and taking a little. But there's something that needs your nurturing. You need to be nurtured as well, okay? So anyways, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. And I hope this gave you some clarity to what to expect in August. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.